So I just saw a video by a channel called The Atheist Voice, which is the same URL as the display name. I don't know if that guy is the owner of the channel or if that's just a channel, because the guy doing the video calls himself the Friendly Atheist, and said his name. I don't care to check it out, I'm just making the point that came up. He was talking about how people will claim to have been legally dead, and apparently sometimes they actually weren't legally dead, but they'll claim that while they were legally dead, they went to heaven and they saw angels and harps and halos and whatever, and that is proof of God. Well, actually, that is the opposite of proof. It is actually evidence of the falsification of the Bible. Now, of course, there are many people who believe in all different kinds of gods and all different forms of gods, like pantheism and everything like that. And of course there are Christians who don't follow the Bible or believe in the Bible at all, and they just believe that there's a God and he's good and the Bible sucks because it was written by people. But those people don't tend to argue and harass other people and things like that. They don't tend to tell people that they should all join the Christian cult and go commit genocide and, and force people to do what they say, and be murdered if they're gay, or be kicked out of the house because their 13-year-old daughter is an atheist, which is from another video I saw earlier today, etc. So the people that actually are hardcore Christians and actually claim to believe in the Bible but haven't necessarily actually read the whole thing, because that's one of the most common ways to become an atheist. But anyway, in the Bible, it specifically says that the people going to heaven does not happen when they die. I'm going to try to find some verses to put up here as an overlay after I finish recording, but most of the hardcore Christians, maybe at least 50% of them I think, are actually aware that the Bible says this. The Bible says that you will die and you will basically sleep and be aware of nothing until a time of Revelation, the Apocalypse, and the 666 person, which is actually 616, but that's besides the point. That will come down and he will say, I'm God, but it's really supposed to be Satan or some minions of Satan. A bunch of people will follow the evil guy, then they'll all go to heaven, and after all this is done, during this time, many more people will convert into Christians, and then they'll go to heaven. And after this is done, then all the people who died beforehand will wake up and be brought to heaven. So anyone who has died and said that they died legally for a few minutes and said that they went to heaven while they were dead is clearly telling the opposite of what Christianity tells. So if you die and you've seen heaven, and then you come back to life, which doesn't actually happen because legally dead and dead are not the same thing. Dead is like you're dead and you rotted and you're buried in the ground probably, and maybe been dead for a week, and then you come back to life. Then you are dead. But even if you consider legally dead and actually dead to be the same thing, if you die and you see heaven and then you come back to life, that is specific proof that the novel entitled Holy Bible is false. Because if that novel was true, then when you die, you would see nothingness, not heaven.